Today we're going to be taking a look at how we can do simplification of JSON data so we can make it so it's very easy to work with and use inside a Swift project. I'm right here on the CORGIS data set. It's a great data website you can use to get information that you can work with. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the energy data set right here. And as you can see, I've got this lovely pile of information here. You can notice over here on the file name, we have consumption.commercial.col. So this is a nested structure inside that. So this is where we've got some nested information there. So this is going to be a really complex JSON file. I'm going to download this right now, energy.json, brand new file, haven't seen it yet. Go ahead and put it inside there, energy.json, great name. I'm going to save that to my downloads directory. I'm going to click on it so I can see what it looks like really quick. And so here we have our energy.json file. As you can see, it's a complex JSON file where I have nested types. So I have my first entry right here, starts on line 1, and it goes until, scrolly, oh, down here to 125. So 125 lines for just one entry inside. That's really complex, really huge. And so we have also complex types inside that. So for my state Alaska, which has a production type of coal, and then it's consumption. Consumption has a type of commercial. Consumption has a type of commercial of electric power. Consumption has industrial, ... Every time it sees that extra squiggle inside that same type, that's a whole other type I'd have to do. And so I don't want to do all that deeply nested work. I'm going to try and flatten this out, make it so I can get a little bit simpler information so I can easily work with this and create a project that can go along with that. So we're going to first flatten this information in JSON, flatten it to a CSV, trim out the data so we can make it a little bit smaller, make sure we have proper naming conventions so we can use it inside our code, and then come back and in our next video we'll show how we can actually create a JSON struct that can work from that existing data set. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to convert this file. So I'm on my convertcsv.com and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose my file. So I'm going to click on that and I choose file. And I'm going to go energy.json so I can grab that file right here. And that's got that right here. And I'm going to convert that JSON file to CSV so I can flatten this data out. And so it has a couple seconds right here where it has to execute that conversion. We'll wait for just a smidge. And that nested data right here, you can see this is the new CSV. Here's the raw CSV version. We can see what it looks like in tabular data right here. And oh my gosh, we have so many columns. Great, wonderful, we've got that. So let's go ahead and let's download that column data so we can actually manipulate that. So I'll do download result. I'm opening this file in Excel. You could also do this inside Sheets if you want to upload that file, or if you have any other CSV editing tool, you can also work with that. I'm using Excel because I'm on my school computer, so that's where I'm going to work with that. And as you can see right here, I have columns of data. Oh my gosh, I've got to CF. So I've already wrapped around the alphabet 3 times. I know, this is way too much. So what we're going to do first is the first thing we need to do to simplify this is we're going to take out some of this data. I know if I'm doing a big, huge data analysis project, I need all of this data, but this is for a simple project, or even for a medium-sized project, I don't need all of this data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce column count on this. So I'm going to take a look at this. Obviously, I need my state information. I'll need my year information. Production in coal, commercial coal, distillate fuel. Okay, so I've got the consumption stuff. That's kind of, so my production, consumption, I've got all this stuff right here. And consumption, expenditures, oh my gosh, expenditures, price, ooh. So we are going to go down and we are going to completely take out an entire section. Let's see. So now I went from having 3 times the alphabet over 70 items of stuff, I'm now down to T. So these are the values I have in that. So that's the first step I have is I deleted a whole bunch of columns out of that information. Now I still have a bunch of stuff in here. I'm gonna have to actually clean this up. The first step I do, of course, hit save. Okay, got it saved. The first thing I do is I need to fix all of these column headers to be variable name specific. So we use camelCase notation when we're working with Java and Swift. So we need to fix all these to match that. We also need to get rid of all these icky slashes in there because that just freak our compiler out. So we're just gonna make these all start with camelCase. I'm gonna do state, and then year, and then coal production. And again, I'm spelling things out because again, I want to make sure this is easy for me to look at later on. Now I've got my lovely structure right here. I've renamed all my column information so I have it so it's information I can use more effectively in a code format. I'm gonna hit save one more time because again, I always want to save stuff. I never want to have any worries about losing data. So I've got that saved as a CSV file, so I've got my trimmed down version of that. I'm going to go back over here to the browser. I'm going to go use the other site right here, csvjson.com. I'm going to upload that file. So I'm going to choose my file. I'm going to choose my energy CSV one I just manipulated right here. I'm going to choose open. And as you can see, it's now that new lovely camelCase notation right there. Makes it wonderful right here. I'm going to scroll down over and hit convert. and boom, it automatically converts it to a JSON array value. And I have it right here. Oh, it's nice and clean, quick, wonderful. Hit download that. And I'm going to make sure I save this as my energy simplified. We have a original energy file where we have a deeply complex nested JSON structure. And now I have my smaller, squishier version. So my energy simplified file right here, I have one line. One object is only 23 lines now for that information, so we've got much smaller versus over 100 lines for just that first energy value right there. So now that I've got that, I now have a simplified JSON value. So I've got this simple thing right here that'll be easy to convert to a JSON to create a struct with in Swift. I hope this is helpful on how we can do some quick manipulation of data. Take a look in the next video so you can see how we can actually take this simplified data right here and create a struct from it, and then how we can work with that inside a Swift project. Hope this is helpful. Cheers, see ya, have a great time.